Hi, sis.
Hey, sis, how are you?
Girl, these days, I don't fluff around. Sometimes I'm like, the days are hard and I am tired and I am probably spreading myself too thin. But I'm blessed at the same time. That's how I really am doing. Because usually I could be, I'm good, girl, how are you? But the truth is, I feel like life be like kicking me up the butt a little bit, but like in a good way. That's how I'm going to answer your question. How about yourself?
Girl, I feel like that's me every day. It's like, wow, I just feel like there's not enough hours in the day sometimes. But it is what it is. Again, I'm blessed. I'm grateful. It could be in a whole different situation, but I mean, God is good. That's all I can say.
That's good. Well, I'm so glad you said that. I am grateful because that is what I am also. And it's funny. I'm going to shout out our Truly, who's presenting this live. And I actually wanted to start with that because we put a little spin on it all. And I wanted to start first and foremost with everybody that we get to speak with is to ask you what you're truly grateful for, which I think is kind of a loaded question in times like this. So like as a toast, what are you really grateful for? It's actually really delicious.
I'm not sure I understand.
Honestly, in the times that we're living in, I'm truly grateful for my family, who's been so supportive in everything that I'm doing, all my endeavors, especially, I mean, not just my family, my close friends as well. I feel like I have so much support backing me. And I know a lot of people, and other people I've spoken to, can't really, don't have that, support and that backing. So I'm grateful to have such an amazing support system, people around me who love me, who cheer me on, saying, we see you, girl, keep going, keep doing your thing. And I'm like, I love it. So that I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, I'm going to second that. I'm the same. I think it's funny. Everybody that I truly love on the planet is not here physically with me. They're actually on the other side of the world. And it's kind of funny because I had plans to want to go home and see them for the summer. However, with everything going on, I'm unable to, which really sucks. But then I think about just their presence and who they are as people, even from afar. That's what I'm truly grateful for, just that they are who they are, not necessarily that I get to spend time with them or know them from an intimate place, but I'm just truly grateful for the people that I love, simply just the beautiful people that they are that I get to call family. So I'm going to second that and say the same thing. And I appreciate that. So shout outs to Truly for that. I appreciate it. But I wanted to, typically we start also, and I have a lot of starts, right? Because I actually know you. This is not, you're not a stranger. It's funny. I was just saying before I accepted your request that in a world of social media, and this has all become our norm, there's a lot of people that we follow, right? Mm-hmm. And in our minds, we know them, although we have never met them. Right. And I can say you're one of those people for me. I have been so inspired by the body that you've been able to build. and I'm a big lover of just like thick, fit women in general, and you absolutely fall into that category. Nicci Robinson, you are a lot of things, is what I'm trying to say. You're a woman, you're a fitness influencer, you're a nutrition expert, you are a motivational speaker. However, what I like to ask people at the beginning is to get a sense of who you are outside of what you do, right? Because I'm all these things, but outside of like these titles, like I'm a daughter, I'm a lover, I'm a giver, all these things. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you, Nicci, who is Nicci Robinson outside of what you do?
It's crazy because it's like when people actually meet me, they're just kind of they're kind of surprised how low key chill I am. Like I'm such an introverted person. I'm a homebody. I love just kind of just being to myself and just kind of tucked away in my own corner. And it's crazy because people think that on the opposite side that I'm kind of like always in beast mode. I'm like, no, that's literally for an hour at a workout. Other than that, I'm real calm, chill. I'm a sister, I'm a daughter. I am a corporate woman because I do have my 9 to 5. I'm in corporate leadership. I work in healthcare.
Okay, we gotta get into that. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes. It's just I'm just such I'm so low key. And I am the type of person that you ask for something, I do my best to give you what you need, just because I know what it's like to want for something and not have it. I know that feeling. And so I always want people around me to know that, hey, whatever you need, I'm there for you no matter what. That's
loyal.
just who I am.
Loyal. You're a loyal person. Loyal.
I'm very loyal. Sometimes to a fault, but I am a very loyal person. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that. And thank you. Sometimes that question gets really difficult for some people to answer, because we are so much of what we do, especially these days, that it's nice to kind of step outside of that and be like, hey, who am I outside of everything I have to do outside of my home, or to earn a living, or even the idea that you know, there's women that's like, I'm a mother, and like,
yeah,
okay, that's awesome. That really is awesome. You birthed humans, but like, what else? Like, you know, so that's great. You came out and you answered that really quickly and with ease, which I know can sometimes be difficult, but you made that look really easy. So thank you for sharing that.
Awesome.
So there's so much, because one, we're similar. We come from a similar background, in sense that on social media, we're known as like health and fitness influencers.
Mm-hmm.
You did, however, mention that you come from a corporate world, which I did not know. So now I'm intrigued, because I also like to use these opportunities to get to know people as well. So can you speak on, let me pose a question. Because I only know you on social media, and to me, you're very much in a fitness space. Can you tell me whether or not being in this fitness space as you are today was intentional? Did you always want to pursue this on the side? Do you consider it on the side, or is your corporate job the side?
Honestly, it's like, oh gosh, I would say like half and half at this point. When I first started, I was always just kind of working out, and it was actually a friend of mine, which you know, Miss Nicole Fit. She's the one that she said, I don't see her. I don't know. She's probably working right now.
Okay.
But she's the one who actually commissioned, like, because she was on Instagram before me, and she was just like, you need to just have an Instagram account. And I was just like, no, I was like against it for some reason.
Wow.
And I got on it. Then I deleted a profile. And it was just kind of like a weird back and forth. And I was like, I'm just going to do it. But I wasn't expecting anything. It was just, you know, post workouts and just go. And just amazed at the feedback and everything that I've received. And it's crazy to say, it's like after I got on Instagram, you were actually one of the first people I followed. Really? Seriously. Girl, like,
wow.
seriously, like you were actually one of my biggest inspirations. Like I saw you and was like, oh my gosh, I love her. And I used to tell people, do y'all know this girl named Lita? Like I follow her on Instagram. She's awesome. And so it was like, you're definitely someone who inspired me as well, especially when it came to that body shape. I was like, oh my gosh, we're built so similar, and she's embracing it. She loves it. I'm there. I was all for it. But then with the corporate world, I've always just worked in healthcare. Then I got out of healthcare for a little bit. Then I recently went back about a year ago. Healthcare is definitely it's something I'm passionate about. I just love that space. I love working with doctors. I love working with nurses. Right now I work with in behavioral health. So I work with kids. We do ABA therapy for children diagnosed with autism. So yeah, it's more of a passion, because I love seeing the milestones that these kids are going, the parents who are just grateful that their child, you know, was once nonverbal and now is just saying something as simple as hi. And it's something that I can't give up. That's kind of like, it's my baby, but I still love fitness. Fitness to me was just more so, it's a hobby / business, you know.
Oh my God. I was
So
gonna say, that's a hobby? People out there like, how can I make that a hobby? Because you built such an amazing body. But you're right. So fitness is the side thing, which you also equally love, and it's also part business too, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Continue, please.
No, you're fine. No, but I wasn't expecting it to become, it wasn't something I set out and said, I want to be a trainer or, you know, inspire anybody to work out. It was just something, I just got on Instagram and just started posting my workouts, and it just kind of evolved from there. And I'm just grateful for the opportunities that's come my way because of it. I mean, honestly, that glory to God for that, because I mean, I didn't do it on my own, but I know people are really shocked that like, how do you juggle both? I'm not going to lie, it's not easy at all. do what I can, you know, work my job. And then the evening times, I'm just focused on fitness business. And then I may sleep for 6 hours and I'm back up again doing what I have to do. Yeah.
Okay. So can you, with that said, now I'm curious, can you run us through like a typical day? What time you wake up? What time you hit to work? Like, what does that look like? What time you train?
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Like a typical day.
Typical day, I would say weekday, would be, I would usually wake up about 5:30 in the morning. Now, I wake up at 5:30 because I usually get on, I'm a part of this women's prayer call. And so that's like my breakfast in the morning. And so we do like this 15-minute women's prayer call. And then afterwards, sometimes I'll go back to sleep. A lot of times I'm just already up. And so I'll just have my coffee. It takes me a little bit to get up. Like, I'm the type of person, I have to kind of sit back and drink my coffee and just kind of sit, you know, like for a good 30 minutes before I'm just like, okay,
chill. It's not, being quick. You're running out the door. I feel that. I have very little time for that, but I feel that. That's what I want to do with my coffee.
Yes. I'm like, I can't. And so like good 30 minutes, I'm just kind of taking my sweet time, maybe about 6-ish. I try to start my workday early. Just because I know I have my daily tasks that I have to do. Right now, I'm working from home with everything that's going on with COVID, which is a benefit right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's probably a plus for you right now, right?
It's a plus. I mean, even though our centers are currently still open right now, I'm just working from home. I'm probably going to be back there next week. But it's a lot of time management. So I start my day. I'm usually texting my employees, you know, who's going to be there, who's not. This is the schedule, da, 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 da. And then, I mean, sometimes I'll stop in the middle of the day to, you know, okay, what do I have to do for business-wise? If I'm going to send out some workout plans, nutrition plans, what do I have to do?
Wow.
And I do that for an hour as I'm eating my lunch or something. And then if I get a chance to work out, I might. If not, I just wait for the evening. It's like it's a fully loaded day, but I feel like I've kind of managed the chaos, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny. Some people are built for a certain chaotic schedule, and then there's some are not. And what I'm recognizing is when I'm not busy, and maybe you might feel the same way, I feel like I'm not being productive and I could be doing something better with my time.
Yes.
But then while I'm kind of like turning in this chaotic schedule, there's times where I'm like, okay, I have to use Saturday to like for myself. Like, and you said something earlier on in the chat that you said you're a bit of a homebody.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I'm finding out that a lot of women like ourselves that like into hardcore fitness and have other things going on aren't typically the ones that are also like lighting up in the club. Like, because like, how can you maintain that? How do you sustain being like a busy entrepreneur or busy your corporate job, doing fitness, creating content, working with clients, and then still be hardcore on the weekends? So I'm actually not surprised. And then given your schedule, again, it definitely sounds like you're also managing that really well. So with that said, if you wake up at 5:30, what time do you go to bed?
Oh my gosh. I typically go to bed typically around 10. So, but sometimes I crash early. If it's one of those long days, I mean, there's times I'm literally in bed like 8 o'clock. I'm just like, I can't do it anymore. And I just crash.
Yeah.
And, but typically about, 10:30, I'm in bed. But again, then it's like, now I'm just waking up. I always kind of wake up around 5, I think, because I'm so used to just jumping on that call. So
body clock.
Yeah.
And you're waking up with like, obviously with good intention and know that you're going to get something awesome out of it as well. Because that obviously helps, right?
Absolutely. Because I'm just so used to knowing, okay, this is what I have to do, especially Monday through Friday. My weekdays are just completely consumed with something. And then weekends, I mean, recently my weekends have been consumed. Like I just got back from Austin because I'm working on a project. So it was like my weekends are consumed. It's like as soon as I get back, like I got back yesterday morning, as soon as I touched down, it was right back to work. It was like, yeah, there's no rest in between really, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? You're fine. You can do it. You're wired for it. Just go.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, and you love it.
I do love it.
And that's people always say, how do you do X, Y, and Z? Blah, blah. It's because you love it. There's no way, especially in my case, I left the corporate world to kind of like, I always say, just create the life that I love. And that's exactly how I move in life and try to be really intentional. But when you think about everything going on, like, how is this even possible? But it's because you love it. You love business. You love being able to help people. You love being able to hear those transformational stories and how you've motivated a perfect stranger on the other side of the world. You love it. And I can see that in you also. It's like you go hardcore, but it's because you love it. And that's the reason why you're being able to have and sustain the energy. God-given, I also say, because I feel like when you walk and live in your purpose, you will get the energy and the resources that you need from inside, right?
That's it.
From a spiritual place. So speaking of which, though, because you did mention, obviously, waking up early for a prayer service, faith. Let's talk about it, because I knew this about you actually before meeting you, but there was something about meeting you in presence too. And I also think because we shared that panel, you brought out faith in your faith in God and how He moves in your life. And so, can you speak on that? How is your faith, your spirituality, how does that play a part in your life? How you conduct your business, how you show up in the world?
Yeah. So faith is like, it's everything. It's how I operate day to day. And I really think that's how God has really just expanded what I've done, because one thing I've always asked for God to do, I'm like, keep me grounded, keep me, help me stay in, and with integrity. Move in integrity, because the last thing I want to do is be someone unauthentic, be someone I'm not. And He's just kind of helped me, guide me every single day. This is what I like. I literally pray. I'm like every day, God, what do you want me to do? What's, who do you want me to touch today? Or who do you want me to speak to today? How do you want me to operate? Now, I always tell people, by no means does that mean I'm perfect. Absolutely not. But it's just, you know what? I'm like, I wouldn't be where I am today had not been for the Lord who's been on my side. And I tell people that to the rooftops. I mean, I have so many testimonies where I just really wanted to give up on life in general. I mean, seriously, I fell into places of depression. I've been there. I've been that woman who just was like, I don't want to live anymore. I just don't want to be here. What's the point? But honestly, God has literally lifted me up and said, I have you. I got you. And always gave me that reassurance that no matter what, I'm by your side. And that's always kept me going. And I always tell anybody who, whether they email me or send me a DM and they're telling me, I just don't know what to do. I want to give up. Like, how do I keep going? First thing I always say is, have you prayed? I'm like, have you, go to Him. Don't go to man. Don't go to me. You got to go to Him first. So it's, my faith is everything. I will, again, shout it to the rooftops. I would not be here had not been for the Lord on my side.
Yeah, that's strong. And I appreciate you sharing that. You mentioned something that also we have in common. You mentioned like having gone through bouts of depression. And it sounds to me that it was also a really bad case of depression if you were having those types of thoughts. I too have gone through that myself. And I've said, and I've always given the disclaimer, I don't want to sound cliche, but fitness kind of saved my life. And in that process and getting well, I say fitness, but fitness was the first component, because I was like, I need to give my physical body to something strenuous, something painful, so I didn't have to deal with what was happening inside here and here.
Right.
In my journey of coming to better health, spiritually, mentally, also obviously physically and emotionally, I refound God again. And I started practicing certain things. I traveled the world on my own.
Yeah.
I went through my Love, Eat, Pray. You all know that one? I know you know that one. And I saw life completely different. And I feel like in those times, I recognize now that's when God's voice has been the strongest and the loudest and the most influential, is when I'm able to be humbled, be quiet and be still and hear everything I'm supposed to. And like when you mentioned that, I like struck a nerve, because I'm like, do you mind if we go a little deeper in that? Because like women like us, we talk, because like they see us, Nicci, and they see us as strong, athletic, have it all together. But the truth is, and I say this really candidly, and please stop me if you feel like I'm pulling you into something that perhaps you don't find yourself under, is that we're all these things. Yes, we are all these things, and we move very with pride and dignity, and we create with good intention. But at the same time, like I'm really quick to tell people, but I'm so also really, really human. Meaning,
Yeah.
I have feelings, and I have vulnerabilities, and I have crazy insecurities sometimes, all the time, that just like to sit back sometimes. And that's important to share too, because in order to show strength and show where you're at today and all the glory that you've created and that you stand in, like you can't share that without sharing, like, but this is what I came from. This is where I came from.
Mm-hmm.
And so with depression, would you be open enough to maybe share why, or even if you know why
Absolutely.
the depression came about?
Absolutely. I believe that, you know what, you don't have a testimony without a test. And I mean, there's a reason for the testimony. It's you got to share it, because you never know who that's going to set free. So I literally had a very pivotal point where I was just in a very bad place in my relationship, my career. Like it just, everything just felt like the world around me was crumbling. I felt ugly. I felt unloved. I felt like I was despondent, as though people just looked at me as though I was nothing. I literally felt that around me. Like, I'm like, I don't feel good about myself. And, even though I know that's a lie from the enemy, but yeah, and that's just where I was. And then, it got to the point where I never forget this moment. It was like 4 a.m. It was a rainy night. I was like crying all night, stressed out, anxiety. And it just like, I got to the point where I woke up, or I was already up. And it was like, I made a personal vow to myself. Like, I just like stopped crying. It's like, Nicci, you will never, like, first of all, I was like, wipe your tears. And don't you ever let anybody make you feel like you're worthless ever again. Like, it was like that severe, that strict. And it was like kind of a transformational moment in my life, because it was like I had a mind shift. Because at that time, I just kind of let anybody treat me how they want to treat me, run over me. It was horrible. And then I made that personal vow, and then that's kind of where that strength, like the strength of God started really coming in. And that's honestly where my fitness journey started at the same time, because because at that time I was already in the gym, but I wasn't really doing like my lifting like I do.
Yeah.
But it just
Start
kind of
off as cardio queens, and then we're like, what's that?
Right.
Right. Okay.
But it was just like that's kind of where it started. And then it was just like with going into the gym and making that vow to myself. And then it was like that lifting on the outside, getting stronger on the outside. It was like I saw the transformation happening, but it started transforming me on the inside as well. And it was just like, I think there was individuals around me who started realizing like, oh, I can't talk to her the way I used to talk to her. She's just a whole different type of person. And then it was like, all of a sudden people started weeding out of my life, which needs to go anyway. And I just started seeing myself in a whole different way. And again, I'm grateful for the people around me, even like, and I can even say my best friend, she's actually a licensed clinical therapist. Talking to her, she's talked me off the ledge so many times and told me, like, when nobody else was saying you're beautiful, she was the only one saying you're beautiful, you're worth something. And so having her, I feel like I'm gonna cry just talking about it.
No,
but
those happen here. Sometimes
yes, but just having her by my side, motivating me and giving me the accolades and the
encouragement.
Encouragement, the love, the support. And then having other people come around that, like, I feel like that was just more how God was transforming me. It was just kind of gravitating people who needed to be there, and the people that are in my life now who are still very supportive. It's just been a huge shift from where I was like 5 years ago. I would say, about 5 years ago or so. And so it's been amazing. And so if anybody is listening who has gone through that season of depression, or you feel worthless, or you're around individuals, I mean, people look at, like say, Lita, you and I, and think that, oh, they're strong, they got it all together. Like, no, it's not always like that. But having a great support system and people around you, and then just finding that strength within yourself to say that I'm better than what I think I am. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So 2 things. Your best friend is your earth angel.
Yeah, she is.
Because to have somebody be an external voice, because a lot of people kind of fight through depression by first hitting rock bottom, and then somehow finding it within themselves to try to not choose the other option, which is like the end, right? And so when you have somebody and you've been vulnerable enough to share all that information, and so personal, intimate, with that other person that can help you, talk you off the ledge, number one, that is gold. And I feel like when I hear those types of stories, like, that's your earth angel. Sadly, I didn't have that person because I was in complete denial about my own feelings, thoughts, my reality, that I kept everything inside. So all my friends, even my family, thought that I was living the life.
Yeah.
But there was something I found deep within that came at like a very, very pivotal time in the whole process of mine. So 1, she's an earth angel, and if she's watching, we love and appreciate you as a fellow sister. And 2, you mentioned something about, people couldn't talk to you the way they used to, or and then people started to weed out of your life. And I just wanted to speak to that because I get the opportunity to speak to like youth and young women a lot. And it's really important that right there, you just mentioned so many golden nuggets, because that is why it's so important to live your authentic truth. And some people are like, what does that mean? It's like, live unapologetically, meaning just be you 110% of the time, and you'll recognize your whole life will change. It'll change because, like you said, Nicci, there's people that recognize a different type of energy that comes over you that says, oh, I can't talk to her some type of way anymore.
Come on.
I can't treat her like that anymore. It's like you just move differently, and therefore how you love yourself teaches other people how to love you. And that's why it's so important, young people, if you're listening, I'm telling you this. Loving yourself and finding self-love, practicing self-care gets you to a place of self-love. This is your ticket to true freedom, okay? It's so important. And then you mentioned people like weeding out of your life. Absolutely. Because when you become unwavering in who you really are, and you walking through life with your chin up high, and you know who you are, like no one can say anything like, well, okay, that's your opinion. That's none of my business that you think that of me, because that ain't the truth. Like, when you can move through life like that, you become so almost bulletproof, right? We know that's not the case, because we still have feelings, we still whatnot. But like, it just gives you a different type of power. And you're in control of that every time. Every time. So I love that you bring that up, because I wanted just to speak to that, only because I've mentioned that before in other talks, and it's so important to recognize why self-love is the key to a lot of things in your life, right? As well as having faith and understanding that it's important to surround yourself with good people and your tribe and all that fun stuff. But that's beautiful, and I truly, truly appreciate you sharing that. Thank you. Thank you. So moving along, right? We and it's funny, I wanted to bring this up specifically because we spoke about this in a panel. We spoke about, and I can't remember exactly how the question was posed, but women as lifters, you specifically, because I admittedly, I'm not like hardcore on weights these days, especially because a lot of the gyms that I use actually closed here in California. But you love strength training. Your body loves strength training. You have built an amazing physique, one I love and admire, because I'm a big lover of thick thighs and curves. But there are those out there that tend to have opinions that women should not carry muscle. So I can't remember can you remember that question exactly? Because it was you had such an amazing response, and I'm trying to like pose it again so you can answer it. But like, perhaps can you talk to me about your opinions on those that don't necessarily think women should be doing a whole lot of lifting, building a whole lot of muscle? Opinion? What?
My opinion on those individuals.
Those.
Honestly, I don't even remember what I said at the panel exactly, but it's just
Whatever.
like,
It was so good. It was so good.
but it's honestly just like, you know, so in the short words, I mean, it's like, who cares? I don't want to curse. I'm not gonna curse. But it was just like, I remember when I first started and I started lifting, I used to get quite a few comments of, you know, why are you lifting like that? That's too much. That's too manly. That's this, that's
Oh, I
that.
love that. That manly.
Manly, right. I was like, well, I didn't know that being toned was manly, but okay, you know.
Okay.
But it was like, at the end of the day, and this is one thing that my coach had told me when I was training with him, Jerome, which is such a simple quote, but awesome quote. He always just said, you know, you never let another man get the best of you. He was like, it's so simple, but it was just like, you're right. Like you're not supposed to care what other people think. Like, and if they do have something to say, like, just, you know, just forget it. Like, who cares? And so it got to the point where I built my physique because I love hard training. I like strength training. Honestly, my initial goal wasn't to like be super toned and strong, but my body just started transforming and I just fell in love with it. And I was just like, I love my body as it is. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm not trying to look like everybody else. I want to be the best version of me possible. And I try to encourage everybody else. Like, you don't have to be super toned and have muscle and definition. Just do what you love to do. Be the best version of you. That's it. And don't criticize others because I see women who are have a little more muscle definition than me, or a little more, more of a, like the physique builders. So, but at the same time,
like more mass, more definition.
More dense muscle. I'm like, that's may not be something I would do, but at the same time, they love it. I love her that she loves it. You know, I'm like, I don't care. It's just about whatever makes you happy, whatever you are comfortable with, and that's it. That is it. I'm confident in all this.
Yes, and it's funny, you know, you being confident in your body and the way you build that body inspires so many other women to be like, oh, I can look like that. It's okay. It can also be feminine. Like, you're gorgeous. So it's like, it just brings different stereotypes to the ground. Because that's one thing I thought was really interesting, is that the whole idea of being coined looking like a man.
Yeah.
I used to be like, I look like a man. I look like a man. I was like, literally, if your definition of a man is this, then like something is wrong with your
right.
Like, so like, it's funny. That was one thing that never, I don't know if it actually ever affected you. If someone said, hey, you should ease up. You don't want to get too big and start looking manly. I used to get that all the time. Oh, you're too cute to be having all that muscle. I'm like, what does that go? But then you hit the nail on the head. It doesn't matter what other people have, what opinions that they have of you. They ain't living in your body. They ain't living your life. Exactly. They have their body, right? And you have your body. And that's also, in my like experience with bodybuilding, I feel like I've gained a whole nother level of respect for how people want to show up in the world. Like, some people are like, oh, she's too skinny. She's too that. Let her be.
Right.
As long as she's not starving herself or doing any type of harm to her body, her genetic makeup could be just that. It's like, let her be. Why does your opinion have to be actually spoken in words to actually hurt someone's feelings for being exactly who they are? And I think that when I see people like you on social media, and I have the pleasure actually knowing you, and there's so many women that just beast out, and I'm just like, yes, actually moving like real athletes, because it is so important. There are young girls, whether or not they're 5, 6, 7 years old or in their teens, that say, you know what, damn, that looks good, and she's confident and she's strong, and that's something to aspire to, versus like the Kylie Jenners and you know, it's like that. You give another definition of what it looks like to be a strong, beautiful Black queen, and I applaud you for that, because we need to continue to share these messages and do exactly what we do, live unapologetically, because I truly believe, whether or not you're being told this or not, you are an influence in a positive sense to so many. Thank you. Really important. So thank you for that also. I always say this. These conversations aren't really supposed to go over 30 minutes. And I feel like I could talk to you forever. So how about this? I think I'll finish with just asking you if there's anything that you're currently working on or something that your fans and followers could be looking forward to. Any future projects? Is there something you want to share?
Yes. Well, one project I can't really disclose too much, but it's something that is launching this fall. That's why I was actually in Austin this past weekend working with the team. I'm actually really, really excited with the project. I wish I could disclose more information, but I'm sworn to secrecy.
Leave us on our toes. Just tell everybody to stay tuned. Yeah.
Yes, it's literally like stay tuned. It's really going to be something awesome. It's coming sometime in the fall, so we're looking at around the October time frame. So that's going to be. Okay. I'm really, really excited about that. Yes. Okay. Yeah, and I know.
Wait. When you're ready to launch or share that with the world, where will we be sharing that on social media, on Instagram? Where can we find out more once it's ready?
Yes, it'll be an actual big reveal on Instagram. Instagram, I'll probably post it. I have my own personal Facebook. I really don't post on it. I'll probably post it there, but mostly just all Instagram.
Okay, we're excited. You'll hear that, y'all. About October-ish. Start stalking
October-ish. Yeah, start looking out around October.
Wonderful. And then lastly, Nicci, I always finish with this. I always run my guests through what we call rapid questions. Okay. Quick, fun, quirky things, whatever comes to mind straight away. Do you mind playing?
All right, let's go.
All right, perfect. All right, so question, and they're fun because I feel like I relearn people over for little things. Okay, let me start with favorite genre of music.
R&B.
Perfect. If you're familiar, do you know what your love language is?
Oh gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I did this so long ago. I can't remember.
Do you want to know what they are?
I think mine was words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation.
I believe so.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Smoothies or juices?
Juices.
Okay. You like it nice and thin. I like it thick. Land or sea?
Land.
Really? Okay. A lot of people pick sea. But those that like land, I always assume that they like to be very grounded people. You know what I mean? So maybe, okay, good. You're one of few, but okay, land. How about this one? One person that you would like to have an in-depth conversation with.
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
Jesus.
Yeah. I had a feeling we were going to go there when you asked me that. Of course, I think you're the ultimate person. Ultimate. Moving along. Let's see. Okay, a current TV series you're currently binging or one I recommend is really good. I ask this selfishly because I like to add to my list.
Oh my gosh. I can't think of one off the top.
Do you even watch TV?
I do. I'm more of an ID channel. I'm that type of chick. I watch ID channel all day long, which is very cool. I know it's very dark. People that think that people watch ID channel are very dark, and I'm like, no, I just think it's enjoyable.
Yeah, it's for your own reasons. Fair enough. I've been getting a lot of people say Ozark. Have you heard of this?
Oh, you know what? I watched the first 2 seasons, and then it just kind of fell off.
Oh, you fell off?
After
the second season, I was like, bring me the third season.
It was good. I don't know why I need to.
It's a lot.
I need to go back. It was a lot.
It was really exhausting. That's what it was. I was like, I ain't ready for another episode right now. I'm exhausted. So maybe that's how it was. But I watched that one. Instagram or Facebook? I was going to say we already answered that. You don't really on Facebook?
Not really on Facebook.
I already answered that one for you. How about this one? Name one thing you love about your body.
Ooh.
I already got my answer for this.
I got mine.
For you.
My thick thighs.
That's right.
Muscular thighs.
That's right. If you said anything else, I would be mad at you. One thing you love about your personality.
Oh gosh. I'm very, you know what? I'm very calm, even in very stressful situations. I tend to be that person. My friends around me can be the ones that ready to go, and I'm kind of the one that just sits there, just calm down. We're
Calm.
good. Right. You know?
Okay, yeah.
Very
I feel
calm.
like I need more friends like you in my actual life right here in California. Because I feel like everybody, that's not true. I think all my friends are typically like, what next? However, I will say my fiance is good at just being like, babe, it's okay. It's okay.
Right.
And I'm like, it is. I'm that person. So I like that about you. And I will agree, because when I first met you, and I think I said this right before you jumped on, is that meeting you in person versus social media, like you, graceful. That's the word I have for you. You're just calm and poised. And I really love that about your energy and spirit. All right, I won't keep you much longer. If your house was burning down, name one thing you would grab without thinking twice.
My dog.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Of course. Hopefully he knows how to run after you, so you get something else to choose from.
He probably, most likely he's trailing right behind me, so yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then two more questions, I promise. Second to last is this: one thing you would tell your 16-year-old self.
Ooh, I got a few things for her. First of all, one thing I would tell my 16-year-old self is be more confident.
Yeah, okay, nice and simple.
Very simple. Be more confident.
And last and final, name one thing that is on your bucket list that you haven't yet accomplished.
Oh gosh. I honestly, and it's gonna be crazy because people don't think that.
Give me crazy.
Black folks do this. I want to climb Mount Everest. Like I really do.
Okay. Well, it's just the delivery. That's fine. But Mount Everest.
I really would love to climb Mount Everest. I know it's like I don't know how many days it takes to get up there, but like to be at the top at the highest peak of the world, to me is just like that's like it's a once in a lifetime experience.
Absolutely. I can respect that 100%. I will be looking for a postcard from the top. But no, I get that. I've just seen, it's funny, I was watching, perhaps maybe a month ago, I was watching a documentary on like crazy feats and like what the journey to even getting to the beginning, right? It's a whole process, just so you know. But that says a lot about your personality and who you are as a woman in this life for you to say that, because it doesn't get any bigger than that. It doesn't. And so I respect it 100%.
Yeah.
With that, Nicci, I'm so grateful that you've made time to speak with me here on Hello Fitness TV.
Thank you.
Please know it's from a sincere place. It always is such a great thing to know that friends come on and chat, and I just really am grateful. And like I said to Destiny, I said, when I come back to Dallas, we all have to. I know that you're in someone's garage, and I'm like, I need to be there.
You need to come. Yes. I know.
Let me tell you something. I have a confession. I was in Dallas for Father's Day weekend, but it was a last minute thing. Guy at the time told me last minute. He said, "Babe, I really want to spend Father's Day with the kids because his kids were visiting his parents in Dallas." I said, "Oh, okay, that's well. We left it last minute." I said, "You know what? I'm so busy. You go ahead." But long story short, it was the weekend that he proposed to me, and even I was trying to get out of it. So my weekend was hardcore, and then I was got myself a little ring, then left right after. But like next time I'm in town, I have proper time, I would love to, and I'm already inviting myself. I'm not even asking for permission.
No, you're just gonna come. Yes.
Perfect. Again, Nicci, please enjoy and be safe out there in Dallas. It is all love, sis. I really appreciate you, and we'll definitely stay in touch. I know I got some leggings coming out to you. You're gonna get them for the end.
Yes. Come on, I'm waiting for them.
Awesome. Thank you, Hannah. I appreciate you. And shout out to Truly for presenting this.
Yes.
It's a sip that is delicious while we chat.
Thank you,
Thank
Truly.
you, Nicci. I appreciate you, girl.
Bye, girl.
Bye, y'all.